Garrganton. Hey, humans, my name is Garrganton and welcome to my podcast of ultimate Awesomocity. Is that a word? It is now. In this podcast, I'm going to be getting a whole bunch of awesome people to call me in over Skype. And I'm going to ask them the most ludicrous questions, basically to see how long they last before they hang up. It's going to be great. Let's do this.
Hey.
Hello, Lauren. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Not only that, I can also see you, and you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
See, I need to dispense with a little bit of flattery because I kept you waiting for like, what, 40 minutes?
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just on my laptop messing around watching Scandal. My God, that show's addicting.
Scandal? What's it about?
It's all about pretty much politics, romance, and just cleverness, so it's a lot of fun.
That sounds like the House of Cards. Have you seen that show?
Oh my gosh, yes. Can't wait for the third season.
Kevin Spacey. Am I right?
I should start doing that for each of my videos, like choose a different actor, because that one time I was just doing it just for my voice, just to have that kind of, common broadcaster voice. But next time I should be like, Kevin Spacey.
That's right. Do something crazy. One of the things that we share, you and I, is we have YouTube channels. How did you get started on yours? Because you don't strike me as a massive attention hoarder, someone who hoards attention. So how did you get into that?
Well, originally, let me see, it was definitely last year. And originally a lot of my videos were just kind of nerd related, or I think my very first video that I made was actually a video or a fan correction for Conan O'Brien. He has his show on TBS, and he made a comment about Star Wars, and I was really into his show at the time, except what he said about Star Wars was wrong.
Yeah.
Just correcting him on every little Star Wars fallacy that came out of his mouth, because there was just so much there.
Your passion for it came from scrutiny of a public figure.
Yeah.
Good. You have a YouTube channel about science. I want to talk about that. How did you get started on the whole science thing? Why do you care about it so much? Because, quite frankly, it's a bit of a bother, isn't it?
I mean, yes, it can be. Sometimes you have to learn a whole bunch of random formulas and just stuff that's just plain boring. But
yeah.
What made me realize I was interested in science was I was giving a speech on genetically modified plants.
Was that in kindergarten?
I wish, don't I wish. No, this is actually junior year of high school.
So you're not like a total prodigy. You're just like a normal smart person.
I do consider myself to be a smart person, but by no means some type of genius. I really think when it comes to how smart you are, it's really how hard you try.
All right.
You can be a genius all day, but if you put no effort to it, it's pretty much just wasted, as if any talent.
What happened with the speech that you were doing? The speech that you were doing on genetically modified things, were you arguing for or against it? Because, on the one hand, they make foods a little bit tastier, but on the other hand, they're like kind of evil.
Well, the business side of the thing is a little bit evil, but if you just modify the organism itself, there's nothing wrong with it unless it produces poison, which it obviously doesn't.
Okay. So that was kind of your breakthrough moment where you were doing the speech, you were preparing it, and you were like, I love this stuff. I wanna get into it. And that's why.
It's so addicting.
Is that why you got into I have it written down here. The thing that you're studying right now, it's neuro-linguistic rocket science surgeon is what you're gonna become, right?
Neurosurgeon, yes.
What is that? That sounds complicated.
It's not. It's basically a person who looks at what's wrong with the brain or the spine and just fixes it. The brain is like the heart of the body.
It is the heart of the body, except there is a heart in the body also.
See, that's where I beg to differ on that issue.
I actually wanted to ask about that. Have you been into any live person's head yourself?
I haven't, but I would definitely want the honor of doing so.
I have no idea how brain works. I took a few courses, but it's fascinating, isn't it? Can I ask you about more stuff about science? Can I do that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What is like your favorite invention ever?
I would probably have to choose smartphone because text messages, email, business, and it just makes the world happen so quickly, and just to think that back in the 40s they were using typewriters and to do like all these things.
Well,
So,
you know what? The reason we ended up with our current keyboard layout was because they had to slow down the typists back in the 50s or something. They were typing too fast and it was jamming the typewriters. And now we're stuck with a really crappy keyboard layout, and it sucks because we can type way faster.
it sucks.
Oh, check it out! I have complete. I'm just gonna rip it off. I'm behind a closet, so that's awesome.
Oh, there's no cat hiding behind there.
And no alpacas either. Where are your alpacas? You have alpacas in every video except this one. I demand alpacas right now.
Hang on.
All right, so alpacas are coming up. So are alpacas basically like a cross between a llama and a donkey, or what are they?
Well, all I know is that there is a difference between llamas and alpacas. Llamas are, well, this isn't a llama, although I guess
Llamas
it's
like
not.
to spit. They're like camels, aren't they? They will spit in your face and have no compunction whatsoever.
They really do. I mean, they're just mean. I'm surprised we make stuffed animals on them. All I know is llamas are pretty much beasts of burden, so kind of related to the donkey, but alpacas are bred for their fine quality in fur, so, you know, it's just kind of different uses. But as far as the lineage, I'd have to look into that.
Well,
It is interesting.
it looks adorable, and I can hear every keystroke you're making.
Oh,
You
snap.
have very strong fingers. Is that part of the surgeon technician training?
Must be. I don't know. I'm actually really looking forward to that class because I've always been a painter and, you know, drawer and artist in my own limited way. But I'm wondering if there's a class just purely based on, you know, surgery technique where you're just cutting the cheese like in class. That sounds bad.
You get to
or just
cut the cheese. I think that's more about chef training.
Yeah, exactly. That would be cool though. Like maybe cut slices of bologna or something that's harder.
Yeah, good training for slicing up people's brains. I hope you're not gonna do that. I hope you're not gonna turn into like some kind of Dr. Evil type of scientist and just oh no, did I just plant that seed in your mind? Hey, another thing about science, can I ask you, who is your favorite person like ever who's done any kind of science?
One that stands out for me would probably have to be Charles Darwin. And I'll
Why
tell you
him?
why.
Was it because of his trip to Galapagos and watching the turtles?
Yeah, because, you know, turtle racing. I know in Austin they have turtle racing on every Thursday. You know, they actually do bets on turtle racing. So
Turtle racing?
really with
Are
him,
you making a joke right now, or is that actually a thing?
That's actually a thing in Austin, Texas. It's like, keep Austin weird.
It's got to be a very anticlimactic sport, isn't it?
Yeah, would be. They're rather slow.
A little bit.
Maybe they like dress them up or have them, and you know, people are drunk. Maybe they won't notice the time passing.
That's true. Why Darwin, though? Why is it him that you care about so much?
Well, Darwin and the other dude, forget his name at the moment. Oops.
There were two guys.
Yes,
they
came up
went
with the same
they went
theory at the same
on a
time.
vacation together to Galapagos. They were probably a gay couple. They went on a vacation. They watched a bunch of animals,
samples.
collected a bunch of samples. So this is like a romantic retreat for two scientists.
Yeah, I mean, it really does sound ideal, right? I mean, probably a lot of scientists go there for their honeymoon, too. I mean, just watching some huge turtles just moving around and collecting plant specimens. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that. I mean, screw Vegas.
Because he was able to revolutionize the entire way that people were thinking.
Yeah, it's just how all life came basically from one organism a long time ago and just this huge evolutionary tree on how, you know, just all these groups and all these subsets, and it's just so interesting how it all came from a single point.
Do you have any questions for me? Why am I the one asking questions? Do you have any questions for me? Ask one.
Yeah, because I kept on feeling like the conversation was just going this way. I almost feel rude talking about myself all this time, so let me ask you
Yes,
something.
you are a little bit rude, as a matter of fact. So let's straighten this out.
I'm used to being in a lab room all day handling rats, so...
No social skills whatsoever.
No,
Poor
not at
rats.
all.
They must be oppressed by you all the time. I wouldn't want to be a rat.
They get their jollies, definitely. You know, depending on the experiment, we give them alcohol, we give them all these different things. So they may not live long, but they live happily.
They live happily and they receive lots of pellets. Do you give them a lot of positive reinforcement?
Oh yeah, we teach them how to press a little lever. In some experiments, we even give them Oreos, which have kind of a similar effect to cocaine. So, I mean, heck, I'd be a happy rat if I was fed Oreos all day.
That's not a bad life for a rat.
Alright, so let me get down to a question for you. Let's see, what should we ask an alpaca? No, can't ask him that.
Yeah, alpacas have dirty minds. You shouldn't listen to her.
Oh gosh, I have to almost keep the door closed if we're in the other room. With all the other ones, it's like they're scheming something. Okay, I think I can do that one. Okay, so, you seem like a pretty normal guy. At least from what I can tell.
That's wrong. Already.
Okay. Well, I'll just continue anyway, just for the credit. What is your thing about science? Because even though, you may not major in science, everyone kind of has, a specific area that they're kind of, more interested or may see in the news and be, pay 1 or 2 more seconds closer attention to. So what is the thing that just stands out to you?
Well, I like things that are, cool and flashy and interesting, and something that is making things faster or simpler or easier, or where it speeds things along, or anything along those lines. That's exciting to me. I enjoy that. But also, I think as a kid, I really loved cars. Anything to do with cars, I loved sort of learning about them, the way that they work, the way that stuff, all the cogs and wheels and everything turning around and about. That was exciting to me. So I think that's how I kind of got interested in the whole physics and everything of the way that stuff works there. So yeah, I kind of feel a little bit of connection there. But what do you hate the most about science? What is the stuff that really bugs you? Is it okay, except for having to study a lot for your homework, because that's just obvious.
Yes, we wouldn't want an obvious answer. We need a clever, good answer that no one hears about, really, because, we need creativity in this world.
Creativity is good, but if you can do something really trite with style, I'll accept that as well.
Okay, let me think about this. Something that I hate about science. It's like saying, what do you hate about cookies?
Well, they have a lot of sugar, they're fattening.
I would probably have to
say.
say.
Okay, so here's one. Can I do one? Can I do one for you? Here's one that I think is really nasty. Is that a lot of scientific breakthroughs, firstly, end up in the hands of the governments and the military, and they're used to become better at blowing things up.
Sure, for warfare.
Yeah.
During World War II, one of Hitler's physicists, he actually, because during the time they were working on kind of basically, kind of like a bomb or some type of huge nuclear missile, and the guy basically knew how to create one, and he didn't tell Hitler because he knew how much destruction it would cause. He was like, oh no, it'll take another 5 or 10 years, and so he just kind of, ignored that, but with that, he saved the world from a lot of grief. So it gets so complicated when you try to, involve science and warfare. I mean, it brings along technological advancements, but like anything, if you use it wrong, it just produces just horrible results.
Is it horrible though? I like nice explosions. I mean, I think a lot of that stuff also ended up in movies and pyrotechnics and stuff like that. That's cool.
Oh yes, all those films. They're all so original, each one of them. I mean, each explosion is just so different. I mean, different kind of mushrooms. We have some shiitake mushroom going on. We have some portobello mushroom. I mean, it's just... Are you
dissing movie explosions right now? Because if you are, you and I, we're going to have a chat.
We are chatting.
We're going to have a different kind of chat.
Oh, God, I don't know.
Are you really... Do you hate explosions? Is that what it is? Or do you just dislike action movies?
I just think it's a little bit overdone for some of these newer movies to where it tries to replace that with real plot.
They can totally go over the top. And in the spirit of not going over the top, I promised it would be 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure we've been chatting for much longer than that, even though I've lost track of time because it's so interesting. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Will you come back and do another podcast maybe sometime again?
I think that sounds great. All right, bye.
Bye-bye. So that was Lauren, everybody. She is fantastic. She's amazing. She's cute, adorable, lovely, and intelligent. Those things, I think, are pretty remarkable about any person, and she exemplifies them quite nicely. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and be good to yourselves, be good to your moms, be good to your dads, and I'm going to see you next time. Bada boom.